Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time you are joining, and wherever you are tuning in from, it is good to be with you, and I'm glad you're here. So, my name is Lori Kriva, and I'd like to officially welcome you back to Swell Heart Mondays. And if you are new to this group, I would love to welcome you to day 27 of the Feast for the Soul. And we are now more than halfway through the feast, which it's hard to believe. And I thought I might ask a question for reflection, which is, how are you doing as you're noticing your migration through the feast, this journey that you're on? Um, it's always good, since this is a journey of self-reflection, to think about and reflect on perhaps what you might be noticing about yourself as you've navigated the last 27 days. Whether you've been here for all of them or a few of them, or this is your first day. What are you noticing about your relationship with meditation? And perhaps if you've been here for a little while, what awareness has bubbled to the surface for you? What new insights have you gleaned, if any? Maybe you're noticing that you're a bit kinder, or you're perhaps a bit more patient with yourself or with others. So, whatever it is that might be true for you, perhaps you can use that to inform your practice today and to set an intention before we move into meditation. As I was thinking a little bit about what to share this week, I was reminded of an experience that I had in meditation a couple of days ago that I thought I would share with you. It's very brief, but as I was in this place of deep meditation, my entire body jerked. It just completely woke me out of my state of being. And it can be very startling when and if that happens, if that's happened to you. And I thought I might talk a little bit about some experiences that you can have in meditation, because sometimes there are things that happen that you're not really sure are supposed to be happening, or you're not really sure whether they're normal or not normal. And by the way, if your body jerks or moves like that, it is entirely normal. Things like that can happen. So I wanted to talk today about the three categories of experiences that you can have in meditation. And movement is the first category. So once your mind starts to settle in meditation, you naturally release stress, and that stress can cause three different kinds of movements. So the first kind of movement, which I think we're all familiar with, is the movement of thoughts. You might have visions when you're meditating, or you might even see colors. So you might have all of those things, you might have none of them, although I think most people do have the movement of thoughts when they're in meditation. The second movement is the movement of the body. So you might have physical sensations, like you might perhaps feel warmer in a certain moment. You might feel a chill come over you. You might have your body pulse or twitch or jolt, like I did, this complete release of energy in my body, completely normal. The third type of movement that you might have is movement of emotions. So you might feel tears come up. You might feel intense anger or frustration arise. Maybe you'll get butterflies or a fear of dread in some way. So again, all of these are very normal things to happen. The emotion surfacing in your body as you relax is very common. And when and if this does happen for you, there's no need to try to figure it out. I think sometimes we start to engage our head and try to figure out what that is, the cause, and we try to create a story around it to sort of package it. All you have to do in those moments is simply be present. Just be present without engaging the mind in what emotions are moving through your body. And when you notice there are emotions moving through your body, just be still, be there with the emotion. And I would say if you are present to your emotions, the emotions will move through you much faster than if you hang on to a story or trying to maybe capture some reason for what is happening. Simply be present with that emotion. So those are the movements that you can have happen in meditation. The second experience that you can have in meditation, or may have already had, is sleep. And I don't know if some of you have had this experience where you might be very deeply relaxed and all of a sudden your head starts to bob, or you might roll your head and it might just hang down for a period of time. Completely normal, even though it feels like that you might be asleep or you might be falling into sleep. Typically, it is a sign that you are in a state of deep relaxation and that your body is not necessarily used to that deep state of relaxation when you have when you're moving into meditation. And so it finds that place. And if you do fall asleep, it just means your body is tired. It needs sleep. And if you notice that you fall asleep and you wake back up, simply attach maybe 5 minutes on the end of your meditation to bring yourself back to that place of stillness. Um, and I think the other thing that I want to mention is if you I've tried this before. So if you want to be more alert in your meditations, what you could do is to actually take a rest for about 5 or 10 minutes before you meditate to release any sort of stress and then move into meditation. Okay, so the last one, the number three is in terms of an experience that you can have in meditation is transcendence. With transcendence, you are alert, but you are relaxed and you're not aware of anything in particular. And I like to say the difference between transcendence and sleep and meditation is your level of awareness. So when you're sleeping, you are in this dull state of awareness. So if someone were to walk into the room and be present with you in that space, you wouldn't even know that they were there. But when you are in a transcendent state, you are in this place of restful and expanded awareness. So you actually might be aware of someone's presence in the room, even though you're not tuning in to everything with that person, you're just aware. So you sort of lose track of your body and your mind and the outside world, and you just for a moment even become separate from the I or the you, and you just become one with consciousness, with pure consciousness. So I hope that makes sense. I do think one other point that I'll mention is sometimes when you have those transcendent moments in meditation, you want to get back to them so quickly because sometimes they're fleeting. You just have it for a moment. You're like, where was I? What was that? And you want to get back there so quickly. And the best way back to transcendent moments is to meditate, is to come back, practice a beginner's mind, and begin again over and over again. So let's see what kind of experience we have in meditation today. We're going to practice something called the S.E.E.D meditation. It is called the Simple, Easy, Everyday Meditation. And the best way to describe it is a collection of small practices that are woven together into a meditation. You can take several of these practices and practice them alone as peace finder practices when you need a moment of stillness or you only have 3 to 5 minutes to meditate or find a mindful moment in your day. We'll begin with a short mindful body awareness practice and move into a heart-centered breath. Then we will do a short self-inquiry and another breath awareness practice before moving into a mantra practice. So we'll get a little of everything today. And as you enter into meditation today, I always like to remind people of the 5 essentials. It is okay to have thoughts. They are normal. It's in the nature of the mind to think, like it is the eyes to see. So if you notice that your mind is wandering, simply come back to the breath, Come back to the heart, the beating of the heart, or whatever sensation is drawing you into the meditation mantra. We'll be doing that toward the end of the practice. Let go of any expectations that you might have. Certainly don't try too hard to have a certain experience. Simply tune in to what is here for you today. Be kind to yourself as a good friend would in any situation, and stick with the practice. We'll be meditating today for about 30 minutes, and keep going even if you're distracted. Okay, let's go ahead and begin. Find a comfortable seat. And I always like to say it's a seat that allows you to be both alert, but also comfortable and relaxed. So, whatever that means for you, if it means that you want to have a blanket on your lap, a pillow behind your back, you want to sit on the floor on a cushion, you do you. Okay. So maybe to start, you shrug your shoulders or you move your legs or your knees, your wrists, and just get the wiggles out before you settle into your practice. Resting your hands in your lap or at your sides. And if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes or simply gaze downward at a point in front of you. Moving into stillness and allowing yourself to be here in this moment, exactly as it is. Letting go of anything that came before this, anything to come, and being here right now. Being here with and for yourself. Giving yourself the gift of this practice today. Deepening the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And this lets your body know that it's okay to relax and to settle. You might tune in now to the intention that you set for yourself as we move into this practice. What's important for you right now? What do you intend? Letting your breath settle into its own natural rhythm and depth. And we'll begin our practice today with a short mindful body awareness, scanning the body from head to toe, noticing any sensations that are present. And tuning in now to the top of the head and the brow, the corners of the eyes and the eyebrows. Sensing into what's here, what sensations are present. Moving into the cheeks, the nose, to the mouth, allowing the tongue to be heavy. The sensation of your jaw, your ears, moving into the space, your throat and neck, And moving your attention now to the shoulders, letting any tension move through the body, allowing the shoulders to drop slightly. Noticing the feel of the arms hanging at your sides or in your lap. Tuning into the contact points between you and the surface beneath you. Noticing the sensation of your spine stretching from your tailbone all the way up to your neck and head. This beautiful support carries you through your day to day, through life. Softening the belly, softening the heart. Tuning in to your arms, your hands and your fingers. Letting go of any tension, any holding. Allowing energy to move freely through the body. Sensing into your thighs and your knees, your calves, ankles. Noticing the sensation of your feet and your toes on the floor beneath you or beneath you on the surface of the floor or the cushion. Becoming aware of the movement of the body as the breath enters. Noticing the path of the breath as it moves in through the nostrils, down into the chest or the belly, and moves back through the nostrils or the mouth. You might become curious about the sensations that are here for you, welcoming everything and resisting nothing. All is perfect in this moment. Breathing in and breathing out. And bringing your attention now to the gentle rise and fall of your chest, the area behind the breastbone, which is your heart center. See, feel, or imagine your heart center as this warm, bright light expanding in all directions. This is the light of your awareness. And as you breathe in and out of this heart space, allow it to move and fill the space around you, radiating from the center of your being. You might envision this expanding with each breath. And if you're so inclined, you might put your hand to your heart and really tune into this heart space, tuning into the breath, sensing into this place in the body, this organ that's associated with love, compassion, joy. Now, I'll invite some questions to consider in your heart space. It's not important to think about whether an answer arises, meets the question. Simply allow it to circulate. I'll ask the question and then you can repeat it to yourself silently, letting it circulate in your heart space. The first question is, who am I? Who am I? Without words, thoughts, you might ask yourself a few times and see what arises in the stillness. And releasing that question and any answers that may have arisen, and asking yourself, what do I long for? Perhaps asking, what do I really, really want? And again, you might ask yourself a few times and see what arises or bubbles up in the stillness. And if nothing arises, simply embrace what is here for you now. What do I long for? And releasing that question and whatever answers may have arisen, and returning your focus to the breath. Again, noticing how it enters and leaves the body, not trying to change it in any way, simply becoming mindful of any sensations with the movement of the breath. Perhaps you notice coolness on the inhale in the nostrils and a warmth on the exhale through the nostrils. Perhaps you notice a tingling sensation in your fingers or your toes. Tuning into presence with what's here in this moment. Noticing the array of sensations in the body. The felt sense of the body being breathed. I'll introduce a mantra now, which you can repeat silently to yourself. And on the inhale, the mantra is hum, H-A-M, hum. And on the exhale, the mantra is sa, S-A-H, sa. Hum on the inhale, sa on the exhale. Means I am that. Hum, sa. This repetition is very gentle, just an internal chant. Hum, sa. We'll continue like this, gently repeating the mantra for a few minutes, and I'll keep track of the time. Whenever you notice your attention has drifted to thoughts, simply return your attention to the mantra. Hum, sa. Now gently releasing the mantra and resting in stillness for another minute or two. As our meditation draws to a close, I'd like to read a passage by John O'Donohue. You have traveled too fast over false ground. Now your soul has come to take you back. Take refuge in your senses. Open up to all the small miracles you rushed through. Become inclined to watch the way of rain when it falls slow and free. Imitate the habit of twilight, taking time to open the well of color that fostered the brightness of day. Draw alongside the silence of stone until its calmness can claim you. Be excessively gentle with yourself. As our meditation draws to a close, Gradually bring your attention and your awareness back into the space around you. You might tune in to the sounds, perhaps the sensations of your feet on the earth or beneath you, bringing some gentle movement to the toes or the fingers. And perhaps bringing some larger movements to the body, stretching, moving the shoulders or the legs. Really taking your time to come out of meditation slowly and gently. And when you're ready, you're welcome to blink your eyes open, gradually taking in the sights and the sounds with fresh eyes and fresh ears. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you're so inclined to bring your hands together, thumb knuckles to the breastbone, bowing your head. The light in me honors and sees the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. We'll see you next time.